Hi guys, this is Sajna Binil and welcome to the Business Analysis Guide. This is part 2 of our elicitation series, How to Gather Requirements. In part 1, I had shown you how to prepare for an elicitation meeting, what are the kind of questions you should ask your customer, and how to conduct the meeting. So the questions that we discussed in part 1 revolve more around the business goals and business benefits that the client is planning to achieve. In today's video, we will discuss about the questions that you should ask your customer when you're gathering requirements for a specific feature or functionality. So we'll see this with the help of an example. Let's say your customer has an e-commerce portal and he wishes to add a search engine to the portal. So what are the kind of questions you will ask your customer in order to understand the search engine functionality in detail? So let's get started. So the questions that are shown in this video are specific to the search engine functionality, and you can use the steps that are listed in this video as a guideline to formulate your own questions for the requirement that you are gathering from your customer. So step 1 says focus on business oriented questions. With that, the first question that comes to my mind is what is the business need for the feature and how are they planning to use it? It is very vital for us to understand the business need behind a feature. In our search engine example, it is quite obvious that the business users will use the search engine to search and retrieve products much faster and efficiently. The benefits gained by the customer would involve improvement in the user experience on the website, increase in the website traffic, improved customer satisfaction ratings, and apparently increase in revenues. The business might also be having an underlying need to capture the search analytics behind it, to understand what are the kind of products that are frequently searched by customers on their portal, how many times a customer ended up ordering a product after searching for it, and so on. These analytics will help them make much more strategic decisions. The second big reason behind understanding the business need is most of these features which are requested by business stakeholders are not much thought after. As a result, many of these features after being built are rarely used or not used at all. So it is very vital for you as a BA, if you are not convinced about a particular feature, ask your business questions related to that so that they can think about the amount of benefits that they will derive out of the feature. Second, with respect to this search engine example, I will try to understand the product catalog. Now, this is specific to the search engine. Understanding the product catalog will help me understand the various categories, subcategories of products, and how the different brands are organized in the catalog, which will further help me optimize the search engine and suggest some keywords to the customer. Okay, so I will request for a sample product catalog from the customer, which will help me analyze the different categorization of products that exists in their catalog. Okay, so step 2 says a focus on the user action. So what is user action? We have to think about the different actions the user will perform on that particular feature. In our search engine functionality, think about what the user will do the first time he comes to the search engine. Yes, he will enter a keyword, right? So what will be that keyword? That is the first question that you should ask your customer. What will be the search criteria or parameters entered by the user? Do you need auto suggestions? Now, auto suggestions is a feature by which when the user starts typing a product name in the search box, it automatically starts giving you suggestions so that you can autofill your search criteria. So we need to ask our customer whether he needs an auto suggestion feature. Can the user search for a product within a product category? Now, if you see the left hand side of the search box, there is a drop down all. This drop down lists all the product categories from the product catalog. So which gives a facility to the customer to search a product within that particular category. We need to ask the customer if he needs a facility like that. So these are some of the actions that the user can perform on the search engine. Now we move on to the system's response. Now the user has performed an action. What will be the system's response to that action? The system will obviously load some data, right? So we need to understand what is the data that the system will load. So my first question, what will be the data displayed on the search results screen? Second, what are the search filters available on search results screen? Search filters further allow the user to narrow down their search results based on specific criteria. So we can have search filters like brand, price, the model, which will help you further narrow down the search results. So we need to know what are the filters that should be shown on the search results page. What are the sorting options available? So you can, many websites have the facility of sorting by price, sorting by particular brand in the ascending order, descending order. So we need to understand whether this functionality is needed or not. How many products have to be displayed per page? So there you will see below the page there will be a pagination option which will allow you to navigate to different pages. So when your search is retrieving around 50, 100 records, it should allow the user to navigate it page wise. So we need to understand how many products should be displayed on one page. Do you wish to have suggestions of similar products? So several search engines, along with throwing the search results, throw some suggestions to the customer about similar products or similar brands that exist in the market. So is that kind of feature required on the portal? Will be one of the question. After we have finished with all of the system response that is displayed on the portal, we'll now focus on some non-functional features. So questions for the non-functional features will revolve around the performance, scalability, and so on. So with respect to performance, you can ask, what is the average expected time for search to load the results? So your customer might say that he will expect the search to load results within 2 seconds or 3 seconds, but we need to know that. So this will help your testing team test the search engine with respect to the performance criteria that has been set by the customer. Scalability, we need to understand how many users will hit the search engine at the same time. So that we can appropriately plan the load testing. Our testing team can plan out the load testing that has to be performed on the portal, and so on. There are several other non-functional features that you can speak to your customer about, like security, the browser compatibility, device compatibility. Of course, browser and device compatibility are specific to the entire portal, applies to the entire portal. You don't need to ask it to specific to a particular feature, but these are some examples of non-functional features. Lastly, do not ask any UI related questions to your customer. I have seen many BAs asking user interface related questions to customer, like whether the search engine should be placed on the center of the portal or on the left hand side, on the right hand side. These are decisions that have to be taken by your design and UX team. So they are the best people to decide how the UI should appear, how easy it will be for the user to navigate through the UI, and so on. So I usually refrain from asking user interface related questions to my customer. I leave it to my design and UX team to decide how the navigation should happen within the portal. That's all for today. My next video will be on requirements gathering techniques, our elicitation series part 3, wherein I will talk about different elicitation techniques and what is that technique, how you need to use it, and when exactly you should be using those techniques. So we will learn all the different techniques that are available in Webawk. So if you like this video, drop us a like, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell. Thank you very much for watching.